Hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful people. Just I'm just waiting for a couple of people to join me um, in the studio. We were supposed to be discussing a sensitive subject or topic, and uh, some people were not able to come in because of a number of reasons. Because the topic is sensitive. Um, so yeah, the topic is sensitive. As you can see, it's we wanted to talk about the springing up of groups like the Dudula Movement in South Africa and the impact of mass immigration in South Africa. Um, so yes, the topic was very very heavy. A lot of people say their views and thoughts, and they were ready to come and share their thoughts and how we can resolve problems that we're facing in Africa, at large, not just South Africa. But some people are on the ground in South Africa, um, just because of tensions and stuff, and the groups that they're involved in. They were not bold enough. Yes, that's the word that I'm looking for. Bold enough to come on the platform and or share their thoughts, because I believe that where there are problems, there are always solutions, and the solutions always come from people. If we don't speak and if we don't act on it, nothing is going to change. That's why we need leaders in Africa, or in the world, that will be bold enough to come together. We sit together, we turn all these negative things into a positive, and when we're talking, um yes, we have to be thoughtful, use wisdom. It's about bringing people together, but not ignoring things. Personally, my country, from Zimbabwe, um we've been struggling for more than 40 years, and there are good people down there in Zimbabwe and stuff, and we are everywhere. We are known as good people, but our country is going down the drain. The other main reason is because we do not, we are scared. We're not bold enough to face our problems, to call a spade, come together and transform our communities and, change, Africa for the better. We want good governance and democracy, but if you are not doing anything, folding your hands and being on the terraces, nothing is going to change. So that's what Africans need to understand, that change will only come when we come together, when we become bold enough to come together, and change our communities. And numbers do count. Numbers do count, definitely. Um, yes, before I go any further, just to highlight what we're going to talk about with this, sensitive topic, that is happening in South Africa. The local, people fighting against foreigners and stuff, of which we do not condone. We do not condone, anyone to be, threatening people or killing people, loss of lives because of that. We do not condone that. People can sit on the table and see where we've gone wrong and try to resolve things amicable, in a good way, not killing each other. As we speak now, I think another member from Dudula Movement was killed, and they buried him a couple of days ago and stuff, and they're trying to go back and revenge and fight back. So that's not going to resolve anything. So we have to look deeper into these problems. The other day, I was talking to some of my colleagues that whenever there is an issue, we have to look at the root cause. For example, if there is maybe water in the house or leakage or whatsoever, water in the house, you cannot use a mop or a basket to try and clean the area. You have to look for the leak or the source, and then try and deal with it, so you can comprehensively deal with that issue. So yes, we spoke about a lot of things. We spoke about the government in South Africa, ANC, and the government in Zimbabwe. What can they do better? Because we speak about leaders. Leaders are supposed to look after people. Leaders are supposed to transform communities. Leaders are supposed to, you know, um, think long term and things like that, and use resources accordingly. And what we also highlighted is that resources in Zimbabwe are not put to good use. There's been a lot of corruption. Even the president that was there prior to Mnangagwa, he also highlighted that 15 billion went missing because of the people in the government. So they stole the money. Where did they take the money to? They took it to offshore accounts, and that's where that money is circulating and stuff. It's not circulating in Zimbabwe. As we speak now in Zimbabwe, there's 100, or even, yeah, some one guy who was meant to be on this talk show was saying it's almost close to 100% unemployment. So where are those people going to go to if there's unemployment? So obviously, next door neighbors, which is South Africa, and some of us, are in Europe and America, everywhere, because our country is not doing well. There's so many things that need to be resolved, and if we cannot be at the forefront, nobody will ever resolve our issues. To be honest. And when it comes to, calling a spade, we're not inventing any new will, not at all. Look at, I always talk about, Jewish people, how Jewish people came together when they were oppressed. They killed the millions and millions of Jews, across, Europe and other, areas and stuff. But they came together. They started supporting one another, building institutions, teaching their children generational wealth and stuff. And fast forward in America, they control 70% of the economy. This is the Jewish people. And that is the reason why they managed to gain Israel back. Israel now is where it is because they came together, made money. Money talks, and that's what Africans need to do. They need to be more practical. We're not inventing any new will here. You look at Qatar, you look at Dubai. Qatar, back in the days, it wasn't even as good as Zimbabwe. Yes, economic wise, it wasn't as good as Zimbabwe. I'll give specific examples. Like back then, we had a lot of aeroplanes, commercial flights and stuff, aeroplanes that were flying. But now I think we're reduced to one aeroplane in Zimbabwe. Why? It's because of leadership. And then when you look at Qatar, it's got more than 200 aeroplanes. And we were the first people as well to have a TV station um, in Zimbabwe. But even up to now, we still got one TV station. But you look at these Arab countries and stuff, there is something called Al Jazeera. Why do they have Al Jazeera today? It's because of leadership. They are thinking about their communities. They are putting money where it's meant to go to, not putting it in their pockets or whatever, being selfish and stuff like that. And this is the reason why we're seeing a lot of confusion and turmoil in Southern Africa and across Africa because of poor leadership. So these are the things that we're wanting to discuss about. But before I just give a summary of what people had in mind and stuff, I would like to thank our sponsors who are recognizing our platform, Stronger Together, House of Africa, and other organizations that have joined forces with us to come together and discuss about these issues that we issues of life that we face daily. As I say, that where there are problems, there are always solutions. And in our Stronger Together platform, we always try to highlight solutions and encourage people to be more practical so we can transform our communities. So yes, I would like to thank Arnold Clark Community Fund for recognizing the work that we do in communities, and also the um, the talk shows that we hold that are impacting us, that are empowering us, that are transforming people to be leaders and leaders, to be agents of change, our communities. Um, Thank you for different groups that are in our community. Hopefully, we're going to continue to grow and to use all these funds that Arnold Clark and all these other bodies that are supporting us to help grow our network. How build a studio, and also transform young people into leaders, and then they will become agents of change in our communities. So thank you, Arnold Clark, for helping us, or giving us funding to continue with our beautiful work. And thank you, Stronger Together community. There's more to come with regards to talk shows and building studios, maybe across UK and also across the globe and stuff. Is the funders continue to entrust on the little things that we do. Uh, thank you to all Stronger Together community. I keep thanking you again, thanking you and again and again and again. But yes, you're doing great. You're doing great. That is the reason why we're getting some of these funds, is because of the talk shows that you've done before, the talk shows that are on our website. So when our funders go to our website to see the meaningful discussions that we discuss about, you know it's wonderful. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. Thanks a million. Thanks a million. Thanks a million. Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Where do we go? Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, back to this discussion. So with the panelists that could not come for different reasons, like I said, some of them they're on ground in South Africa, and so they felt that the topic is very sensitive. As you can see, Zimbabweans are not happy with what is going on in South Africa. It is not fair. No one has got the right to kill anybody. So there's lawlessness in South Africa, and that has to be addressed. That has to be addressed. The government of South Africa needs to talk to communities in South Africa so they can address issues accordingly. The Dudula movement has got no right to go to these communities and start, challenging people, and whatever the frustration. We understand, yes, the frustration, where it's coming from. That's why we don't want to pinpoint these problems just to, Dudula movement only. We're saying the government needs to come in. They need to, play, their role with regards to resolving these issues. Yeah, I mean, with the people that were supposed to, we highlighted a lot of things, the reason why this thing is happening, and it's not happening across South Africa. Like in areas like in Santon, things like Dudula movement or Dudula whatever groups are not there. Why? Because Santon is a well-developed area. They will never go there, but they are focusing on townships. And the reason why they are township or pure areas is because of the apartheid system that was introduced in South Africa by white people and stuff, separating the black and the whites. So black people have only got a small piece of cake that they're fighting for. That's what people in South Africa were telling me, but they were afraid to come here on the platform because of the tension. Um, um, So this small cake that they're fighting for, it's there is unskilled or semi-skilled personnels, or semi-skilled people that are going for cheap jobs like working in restaurants, or even in mines or whatever, these jobs that do not require any skills. And what happens is the companies are not following the rules and regulations. Like, I understand there's a minimum wage in South Africa, which is around 250 rands. So if a person from out, a foreigner comes from from wherever they come from, be it Zimbabwe, be it Nigeria, wherever they come from, they are coming there because they want to survive. So people have to understand that. So if somebody is coming because they want to survive, they will accept a minimum wage of 50 rands. No, not a minimum wage. If a minimum wage is 250, I understand. That's what I was told by people on the ground. They will accept 50 pounds, they'll accept 50 rands or whatever, 100 rands or 150 because they don't have anything in their pockets, you see. So, and then now this thing is frustrating, the local people, because local people will never go for 50 rands, 100 rands or 150 because they know minimum wage 250 going upwards. So now these capitalists, they go for these vulnerable immigrants and stuff and give them meager wages. And what we're saying now is South African government, they should ensure that the minimum wage is applied across all companies. Any other company that is breaking that rule, they need to be brought to book. Yes. And that's what happens in England. The minimum wage in England, I think, is about, and somewhere near £10. So no employee will pay anyone. Oh yeah, an amount that is less than minimum wage. So that's another thing. That's what South Africans need to address. Yes, and also yes, we spoke about why is it that the government in South Africa did not put a lot of challenge in the current government that is in Zimbabwe, so they can, sort out their house and ensure that the resources of Zimbabwe are going to the community. They're creating projects that will create employment and stuff because Zimbabwe's got more than enough resources. If a country can produce 15 billion from mineral resources, that can look after Zimbabwe, because Zimbabwe is only I think it's a population that is under, I think, 20 million. So 15 billion, come on, it will look after the people if it's put to good use. And hospitals, they need something like 50 million to be run in a year, so they've got no excuse. So that's why we were discussing, saying, why is it that South Africa does not put a lot of pressure on ZANU PF and stuff? And people raised a lot of issues, saying, yes, we cannot only blame South Africa, because that time Mugabe was very, this he was like a stubborn person who could not listen to anyone, take advice to anyone. So we discussed, we went back to 1999 and stuff, where when MDC was formed, and there was the land issue and things like that. And you know um ZANU PF being pressured by MDC to give land to the people, and they didn't do it accordingly. They ended up giving land to the people that were not skilled to you know to produce crops and stuff and all that, only because they wanted to stay in power, because they didn't want it to be done by MDC. So that thing was not done accordingly. That's when Zimbabwe started going down. And then, yes, other things are corruption. Corruption is more like a pandemic in Zimbabwe. One of the guys highlighted that in every office, for you to 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 get something, or to attain something from these offices and stuff, it's become a norm that you have to pay money. If you do not pay money, they'll even tell you to just stay out of the line, uh, and pay money. So that is like corruption for any service. If you're providing a service, you don't need to to bribe people, or I don't need to pay some money to get a passport or something and stuff like that. So he was trying to highlight how bad it is in Zimbabwe when it comes to corruption. That is not only the top guys that are stealing resources, but now it's across all industries, all offices. It's become a normal thing. So now, as young people, we really need to come together and understand that the only people that are going to transform our communities, it's us. We're not fighting against old people whatsoever, but we're trying to change things, because we see that whenever you implement something or a plan uh, which has got integrity, authenticity in it, you yield results. Yes. S- Talk about Dubai, talk about all these Asian countries, Qatar and stuff like that. They applied the same rules. You talk about China. China, yes, is known to be maybe a country that is not maybe autocratic or whatsoever, but whenever they put a plan, they executed it. That's the reason why you know China is now like up there now. It's because they were thinking about their country. And for example, about 800,000 students from China, they graduate as engineers. Why? Because they want their children to be, building infrastructure in China, also railway, all these other things and stuff, you know, um, equipment and cars and whatsoever. But in Africa, the converse is true. Only 20,000 students coming from African background, they graduate as engineers every year. So who's going to build infrastructure in Africa when only 20,000 students are graduating? So the point that we're trying to drive home is that you know we need to change our mindset, transform our mindset, because Africa has got more than enough resources, and Africa has got a lot of talent. We can you know um, put money to good use in education, in health, um, wherever it's needed, to empower our communities, and also to be at the forefront when it comes to African matters. That's what we need to do, not to allow people that are not Africans to detect how we should do things and stuff. Yes, we are a global community. We're always going to need Europeans, Americans, or even people from China. But whatever we do with them, we have to make sure that the deals that we're signing also benefit Africa, because these resources that are coming, they're coming from Africa. We must not be the end users of products, but we have to also, produce materials. So we speak of countries that have got enough, more than enough resources, like Ghana. Ghana produces cocoa beans, not cocoa butter. And also there is Cote d'Ivoire. And that is $100 billion industry. But most of the money goes to European countries, because you don't have enough equipment to process, these raw materials to final products. And then you speak of Nigeria and Angola. These are the top countries that they've got oil, right? And in 2009, 2010, it was also mentioned that about 333 billion came out of Africa from those resources and stuff. So that's a lot of money. But if we can process, that means we're going to gain a lot, and Africa will not suffer. We are only 1.7, 1.3 billion of the population. So why are we suffering when we've got a lot of resources? And then you hear the world saying Africa is a burden. We need, to be assisted in terms of charitable work and things like that. And they're only giving us like tiny, tiny, tiny amounts. Imagine you are
giving the world more than 333 billion is nothing anyways. Even West African countries are giving France alone like 500 billion. So these charitable funds that we get, they're absolutely nothing. So yes, we wanted to discuss about this issue anyway. I keep, I'm mixing things and stuff, but we wanted to discuss about these problems that are in Africa, um, um, and then encourage young people to understand that we need to be more practical. We need to come together. We shouldn't work as individuals, but when we come together, we'll achieve things. Because no matter how talented you are as an individual, if you play a solo game, you're always going to lose to a team. So teamwork will help us to build structures that will also help the people that will come after us, legacy, to continue this transformation process of Africa, making Africa great again. So we were also complaining, talking about organizations like SADC in Southern Africa, saying, why is it that they left it too late? Because this issue of Zimbabwe having 90 or close to 100% unemployment, they know about it. They know about it. They could have intervened, you know, and challenged, the ruling government and stuff, but they didn't do anything. Why? It's because some of the people that are ruling these organizations are part of the regime. So they say an organization or an institution is an institution because of the people that are ruling it. If the people that are ruling it are corrupt, so you're not going to attain anything from it. And then there's AU. They're not doing anything as well. Yes, privately, I've seen, a bit of progress when it comes to AU, trying to challenge the system and stuff and all that. But now, what we're trying to tell young people is we can also connect with people that are pro Africa, that want to develop, Africa, and also, build institutions that will represent us, institutions that are not going to be fighting against AU or Southern Africa, but SADC, but institutions that will also push AU or SADC or any other organization to represent people or to do better. That's what we want from young people. Remember the issue of the NSAS movement in Nigeria. It shook the system. It shook the politicians. But why is it that they didn't take it any further? Because us as a young generation, we don't have a proper body. We don't have structures that will follow up those issues. So we need to come together. We need to network and stuff. And there are people out there that have got resources that are older than us, and they want, young generation to also have, a platform to express themselves, because they understand that we understand, the complex issues that we're facing, the challenges that we're facing today, in this world and stuff. For example, climate change and stuff. It needs people that are thinking outside the box, you know, uh, so we can, come up with solutions that will help people, continue to go further and bring solutions. When it comes to climate change and all these other matters that are that we're facing, diseases and things like that, we need the young generation to come in. So there are people that are out there that are wanting to help, young people, give them a platform. So what we need to do as young people, we have to come together and connect with these people. For example, there is an organization, Mo Ibrahim, a foundation. He's an old guy. Um, um, he's played his part. He's from Sudan. He's in London and stuff. He's got an organization. He's got a now generation platform where people discuss about a lot of things, trying to connect and give young people a platform so they can go out and do more. So these are the kind of people that we need as young people, that we must connect with and show them what we can do. demonstrate and stuff, and so we can change our communities and stuff. So yeah, that's all I have today with the South African issue that is very complex. Um, this Dudula movement, we are not supporting it, but to resolve issues, and even them, they're saying immigrants are a problem and stuff, and they're now killing people and stuff like that. It's not going to resolve anything at all, because their area is underdeveloped. It is underdeveloped. Why? It's because of apartheid. When you cross over, you go to Sandton, it's a different ballgame. So they also need to think outside the box and understand that the innocent immigrants are not the ones that are causing, all these issues that they're facing, the chaos and stuff and all that. It is the government. So we need to think outside the box as young people. And this Dudula movement guy, he really needs to think outside the box and understand where the issue is coming from. Then things will be addressed accordingly. So these immigrants are coming to South Africa because of the issues and challenges that they were facing in their countries and stuff. So we really need to go deeper and think, you know, deeper. Use our heads to think and leave our feet for dancing and stuff. And whatever the Dudula movement is trying to do, they're gonna cause a lot of chaos. And South African government, they really need to really speak to people in the communities, all these whatever pressure groups and stuff and all that, come up with solutions that will, be comprehensive and resolve the challenges that we're facing, and also be bold enough to challenge the government in Zimbabwe, because Zimbabwe has only got a population of 20 million. The resources that are in Zimbabwe are abundant. They are more than enough to transform that country. And all this thing of one party whatever system or movement and stuff, it has to stop. And new political parties, then they need to come in and also try and help out when it comes to transforming Zimbabwe and stuff. And one of the guys that was meant to come here, he was saying the only way Zimbabwe is going to change is for the new government to come in, so they can address all the mistakes that were done, by the ruling government. You know, it's the same thing, that happens maybe in like Western countries. When the Labour Party made a mistake, you know, people had to vote in conservatives for them to correct those mistakes. Now that maybe conservatives are making one or two mistakes and stuff like that, people have the right to bring maybe Labour Party back or any other party. And that is what is supposed to happen also across Africa. And the other thing that we highlighted as well is, you know, policymakers in Africa, as we come together to sort of like form a system as young people that to represent African countries and communities and stuff. We need to enforce this thing of this law of only allowing presidents to have two terms, yes, in office. Two terms, it could be 8 years or 10 years, whichever way you want to. Yeah, because there's no point of a person becoming a president for more than bloody 30 years or so, and the person can't even walk. They're using a walk stick. You're 80 years old, you're 100 years old, whatever. You still want to be in office and do what? Where do you want to take us to? Take us to the grave. So these are the other things that we need to really talk about as Africans and stuff. 2 terms, off you go. Next. That's how other countries are prospering and stuff and all that. The in Cameroon, there's this guy. He's still there. He's still there. It's been more than 30 years. And he's been there for more than 30 years and stuff. What is he doing? And then the other president in Uganda as well. They'll tell you that, oh yeah, they're the ones that liberated the countries and stuff. They went to war, so they've got the right to stay in power. Man, that is nonsense. That is nonsense. That is they went to war to liberate the country. And what they need to understand, there is no success without a successor. So as a good leader, you have to make sure that before you leave office, there are other people that will come and take over, because there won't be any success without a successor. If there are no successors, if you think you're better than everyone, that means you have failed. You are a failure. You are a failure. Because a good leader will always produce other leaders. You show them how to do things. Yeah. That is why other countries are prospering today. That is why other countries know how to put their resources to good use, looking after their communities. Britain will never look after Zimbabwe or South Africa. America will never look after Zimbabwe. When they go there to make money. They're capitalists. We have to understand that it is business. It's normal. But as Africans, we have to be at the forefront to ensure that our communities benefit. All this business of selfishness, it has to go. Integrity, no integrity is not going to work. That's what we need to do. And this is the thing that we wanted to talk about today, just addressing these issues, Dudula movement and whatnot. I hope, we're going to come back and these people will be brave enough to come and talk about these things. Because if we don't talk about it, who's going to talk about it anyways? Who's going to come with the solution to resolve the challenges that we're facing in Africa? Like I said, in Zimbabwe, we've been going in circles for more than 40 years, eating the breadcrumbs, when God is telling us that we are, strong enough. If we trust in Him, we can come out of Egypt. The Egyptians that we used to see, we will never see them no more. If we trust in God, if we trust in the process, if we think outside the box, to know that to gain your country back or to gain your right, you have to fight. Yes, we're tired. We're tired of these, keyboard warriors and stuff like that. And we need to come out and because we're not going to gain anything if we just fold our hands and do nothing. Honestly. So yes, beautiful people, the viewers, thank you for coming and stuff and all that. And hopefully next time we'll bring you some good stuff. And no matter how sensitive the topic is, hopefully people will come and discuss it. Because when there's a problem, there's always a solution. We have to talk about these things. We have to talk about the Dudula movement and stuff. If you're going to just a closed mouth, the closed destiny. So guys, let's be bold. Let's be brave enough. And that's how we're going to transform our communities. And that is how people will be wanting to work with us. So again, I just want to say thank you to people that are supporting us in our communities. Arnold Club Community Fund for supporting us with funding, and other organizations that are supporting us with this work that we're doing, discussing topics that are changing people's lives and transforming people's lives, that are empowering us. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And thank you, beautiful people, that I can see there are 4 people that are listening and stuff and all that. Thank you. Hopefully next time it will be full house and stuff. I told myself I'll come to the platform by myself, because they were, people that were supposed to come to the platform and talk. Some of them, yes, chicken out because of genuine reasons, because they're on the ground in South Africa. But yes, next time we'll do better. We'll do better. We'll do better. Everybody will be bold. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, beautiful people. Love you all. Thank you. Africa shall be great again. Africa shall be great again.